When you imagine living in space, what do you picture? Most people picture survival, but surviving and thriving are not the same thing, and that difference is what our project is about. Hello everyone, we're Team Aranya, the third prize winners of the NSS Live in a Healthy Space Design Contest. My name is Jasmeet, and these are my teammates Dyal and Akshay. Roshan and Rohit are also part of our team, but they won't be presenting with us today. The word Aranya comes from the Hindi word for forest. We chose this name as we wanted to build a system that replicates the characteristics of a forest. Layered, alive, and quietly taking care of itself. The way we structured this presentation is around three things we want you to take with you. The first one is our goal. Surviving in space is something humanity has already figured out. Thriving in space is not. There's a real difference, and Aranya is built to answer that gap. The second is our philosophy. The best ideas for living sustainably are not new. They're ancient. So we pair knowledge that has been refined for generations with the science that we already have today. The third is our engineering approach. Wherever we could, we replaced mechanical systems with living ones to ensure our goal and philosophy are always maintained. Hold on to these three pillars as we walk you through Aranya. Let us start off with the goal. We just told you that there's a difference between surviving and thriving, and here's what we mean. Research from NASA's twin study show that space changes the human body in ways most people do not even realize. When astronaut Scott Kelly spent a year on the International Space Station, his gene expression changed, his gut bacteria shifted, and his circadian rhythm shifted. He left Earth with the same DNA as his twin brother, yet came back with a very different body. That is the difference between surviving and thriving. Survival is a checklist. Thriving is a lifestyle where someone can wake up, raise a family, grow old, and still feel like themselves. We wanted to build a place that gave people both.
Now this part of the presentation is personal to me. Last year, I had the chance to spend time with Indigenous elders in British Columbia. I went in thinking I was there learning about agriculture, but I came out with an understanding much deeper. While talking to one of the elders, she taught me the meaning of their word toimegev. The word means great-great-great-great-grandparent and great-great-great-great-grandchild. The same word in both directions of time. The idea behind it is that every choice you make should serve both 7 generations forward and honor 7 generations back. That word changed how we thought about Aranya, because when designing a place where people can live for centuries, you cannot just ask what works today. You must also ask what will still be working 200 years from now. So we started to look at how Indigenous communities are able to grow food on the same land generation after generation without depleting it. 2 of these methods made it into Aranya. The first is soil. In the Amazon, Indigenous communities develop something called the terra preta. It's a rich soil that is made by mixing together charcoal and organic waste into the ground. The strange thing about it is that the longer you use it, the richer it gets. Most farmland on Earth wears out. This one does not. We are using that same recipe in our settlement. The second way of planting is called milpa. Instead of growing one crop in one field, you grow beans alongside corn and squash. The beans pull nitrogen out of the air and feed the soil for the crops beside them. No chemicals, no fertilizer trucks. The plants just take care of themselves.
Now let's move on to the most important component of our paper that we want you to understand, our engineering approach. We'll begin with the engineering behind our lights. Plants are quite picky about light. They do not just need it to be bright, they need specific colors, and those color requirements change depending on the plant. Since regular LEDs cannot adapt, we needed a light that could. So we looked into alternative solutions. Glass squids are almost transparent ocean creatures, and their skin is covered in cells called chromatophores that shift color and clarity in real time. It is one of the most beautiful adaptive systems in nature, and we figured if it works for the squid, it is likely that it will work for our agriculture as well. Using CRISPR, we engineered those cells and laid them on top of our LED panels. So now the light coming out of the ceiling shifts color and intensity to match exactly what the plant needs. Now, before building the full system, we tested the principle. We grew fenugreek seeds under white light and under a tuned red and blue spectrum. After 2 weeks, the tuned plants were 15% taller. The same seeds, same water, but better light. That 15% is what convinced us that the squid cell system was worth building. The second thing we want to show you is the soil itself. Watering a plant on Earth is easy. You pour water out of a cup, gravity pulls the water down, and the roots drink it up. Now try doing that in space. The water just floats. Most space farms have tried to fix this with pumps and tubes, but the issue with that is in the long run, where pumps break, tubes clog, and our philosophy fails. So we asked a different question. What if we did not need pumps at all? What if the soil itself could move the water? Now, have you ever dipped the corner of a paper towel into a glass of water and watched the water climb up the towel against gravity? That is what you call capillary action. Water is sticky to itself, and if you give it the right amount of channels to climb through, it will pull itself upward. Our soil columns are built around the idea. They're full of microscopic pores that pull water up the roots automatically. The soil quietly does the work that an entire mechanical system would normally do. The last thing I want to show you is probably the strangest, and it is also my favorite. If you live in space and you get sick, you cannot just call a pharmacy. The next resupply rocket might be 6 months away. So we asked, what if the settlement could grow its own medicine? We engineered E. coli bacteria to produce specific drugs on demand. For example, insulin, the medicine that millions of people on Earth depend on every day to manage diabetes. If a resident on Aranya needs insulin, we activate the right strain of bacteria, grow it in a clean module, and the medicine is ready in hours. The same idea works for other antibiotics, vaccines, and drugs that we might need. The whole pharmacy is alive, sitting in the outer ring of the settlement, waiting to be used.
Dyal just walked you through the food, the light, and the medicine. But none of that actually matters if it doesn't keep people healthy. The food we grow in Aranya is not just calories. It's designed to keep our people fit. We use small genetic readers called mini-ions to track each resident's health in real time. If your body is showing stress, your meals shift. If your immune system needs support, your supplements adjust. The medicine is not standardized. It's written for you by your own cells. But being well is not just about your body. It's about your mind as well. So we designed Aranya around biphilic principles. Humans need nature to feel like ourselves. So we built living plants, natural light, and integrated the sound of water directly within our architecture. We also built several third spaces where residents can rearrange the environment depending upon what they need that day. We build these because thriving is not just about staying alive. It's about having somewhere to belong.
Now we started this presentation with 3 things we wanted you to take with you. Our goal is to thrive in space, not just survive. We hope you saw that in everything from the food on the table to the designs of the wall. Our philosophy was to pair 7 generations of wisdom with the science we have today. We hope you saw that in the soil, the planting systems, and the idea of the atomic egg. Our engineering approach was to replace mechanical systems with living ones. We hope you saw that in the squid cell light, the soil that drinks on its own, and the bacteria that grows medicine on demand. One day, a child is going to be born in space. They will look out the window at a planet that they've never walked on, and they'll call somewhere else home. The only thing that we get to decide in that situation is what that home looks like. It can be a place humanity escapes to, or it can be a place humanity grows into. That is what we built Aranya to be. Not a shelter from space, but a life inside of it. Because if we're going to leave Earth, we should not leave behind everything that made it worth leaving for in the first place.
We would like to first thank the National Space Society for letting us be a part of this conference and for giving us the chance to share our project with you all today. We would also like to thank our teacher supervisor, Ms. Matei, for her continuous support throughout this process. And finally, we thank you for letting us share Aranya with you.